What would you do if you walked into a new school hoping for a fresh start, but the first thing that happened was someone yanking your hair so hard it brought tears to your eyes? What if the entire cafeteria erupted in laughter while you stood there humiliated and helpless? Now imagine, in the blink of an eye, the same bully who tried to embarrass you is the one screaming in pain, clutching his broken arm. This is not a story of revenge. This is a story of strength, courage, and the shocking truth about a girl everyone underestimated. And by the time you reach the end, you'll see why sometimes the quietest people in the room carry storms inside them. The morning sun filtered through the bus windows as Emily clutched her worn-out backpack. She was the new girl, again. Her family had moved 5 times in the past 3 years, chasing jobs, escaping debts, and trying to start over. This time, it was a small suburban town where everyone seemed to know each other. Emily's heart pounded as the bus slowed in front of the school. She hated first days. The stares, the whispers, the judgment. She told herself to keep her head down, stay invisible, and just make it through. But invisibility is something Emily had never been granted. Her thrift store clothes and shy demeanor always made her a target. And as she stepped into the crowded hallway, it didn't take long for the whispers to start. Who's she? Look at her shoes. Bet she's a nobody. Emily bit her lip and kept walking. She found her way to the cafeteria at lunch, clutching a small lunchbox. It was her mother's cooking, nothing fancy, but it was all they could afford. She scanned the room, searching for a place to sit. But everywhere she looked, tables were full of cliques who had no room for outsiders. Then it happened. A boy, tall, smug, and surrounded by his group, stepped behind her. His name was Ryan, the self-proclaimed king of the school. With a smirk, he reached out and pulled Emily's hair so hard her head jerked back. The cafeteria went silent for a split second, then laughter erupted. Emily froze. Her hands trembled. Her lunchbox slipped from her grip and crashed onto the floor. She wanted to disappear. Ryan leaned closer, mocking, "What's the matter, new girl?" Too scared to fight back. For a moment, Emily considered running. She had done it before, swallowed the humiliation, cried in silence, and prayed for the day to end. But something inside her snapped this time. Her father's voice echoed in her head. Though he was long gone, his words had never left her. Never let anyone decide your worth. You're stronger than you think. Emily took a slow breath. She turned to face Ryan, her eyes burning with quiet fire. Before anyone could blink, Emily grabbed Ryan's wrist. Her movements were swift, precise, nothing like a normal girl's reaction. With one twist, a sickening crack echoed through the cafeteria. Ryan screamed, collapsing to the floor, clutching his arm. The laughter stopped. The entire cafeteria stared in stunned silence. Emily stood tall, her hair falling across her face, her chest rising and falling with controlled breaths. She hadn't just defended herself. She had revealed a side no one saw coming. And in that silence, a new chapter of her life began. Whispers spread through the school like wildfire. By the end of the day, Emily wasn't just the new girl. She was the girl who broke Ryan's arm. Some called her dangerous, some called her insane, and others respected her. But the truth was more complicated. Emily hadn't wanted to hurt anyone. What no one knew was that she had trained in martial arts for years. Her late father had been a taekwondo instructor. After his death, training became her way of holding on to him, of keeping his lessons alive. He had taught her discipline, respect, and how to defend herself if she ever had no choice. That day in the cafeteria had been that moment. Ryan didn't see it that way. Lying in the nurse's office with a fractured arm, he fumed. His pride was shattered. "No one makes a fool of me," he muttered to his friends. "She's gonna regret this." The next week was war. Ryan's friends whispered threats as Emily walked by. They shoved her books, tried to corner her in the hallway, and spread rumors about her being violent and crazy. Emily tried to ignore them, but the weight grew heavier each day. Then came Friday afternoon. As the school emptied, Ryan and 3 of his friends cornered Emily near the lockers. The hallways were quiet, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. Ryan smirked. "You think you're tough, huh? Snap my arm and suddenly you're queen of the school." Emily didn't flinch. Her heart pounded, but she stood her ground. "You don't scare me," she said quietly. Ryan's smirk faltered for a second, but he pushed forward. He grabbed her backpack, yanking it off her shoulder. His friends circled like vultures. And then it happened again. Emily moved like lightning. Years of training surged through her muscles. With a swift kick, one boy stumbled back, hitting the lockers. She ducked under another's swing, twisting his arm behind his back until he yelped. Ryan lunged, but Emily sidestepped, sending him crashing into the floor with a controlled throw. The hallway echoed with gasps from a few students who had stayed late and witnessed everything. By the time teachers rushed in, the bullies were either on the ground groaning or frozen in shock. Emily stood tall, her breathing steady, her eyes unshaken. This time, it wasn't just about defending herself. It was about proving she would never be broken again. And in that moment, the entire school saw her for who she truly was. Not just the shy new girl, not just a fighter, but a survivor.